So OnePlus started its premium mid-range phone with the OnePlus Nord. First, the Nord was pretty good phone, had a very nice value for the price. Then came the Nord 2 and the Nord 2T, which were honestly not that good. And now they have finally launched the OnePlus Nord 3. So with the OnePlus 3, it looks like OnePlus has finally got it right and OnePlus is finally dipping its toes into that flagship killer segment. So before I tell you more about this thing, let me show you what comes inside the box. So the box packaging is pretty standard. There's nothing fancy about it. Very standard Nord box. So now let's open this thing. So let's see what's in here. It's a letter from OnePlus. Then we have a quick guide, a safety guide, and a SIM ejector tool. So now we have the phone itself, the OnePlus Nord 3, and this is in the misty green color. Alright, the phone looks really shiny. This particular color has a shiny look to it. So now let's put the phone aside and let's see what's inside the box. And then we have a Superbook charger, and this is an 80-watt charger from OnePlus. And then so this could have been better, I think. OnePlus could have gone with a blue colored USB Type-C cable rather than a red one. Well, the red is synonymous with the OnePlus, but I think for the Nord series, they could have gone with a cooler looking blue cable. And that's it. That is what you get inside the box. So the OnePlus Nord 3 still looks like the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Nord 2T, but it has slightly tweaked design. So the first and obvious design change is the camera module. Gone is the rectangular camera module. Now it only has 2 rings, and I think this one looks better. Also, this one has Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, and this is a plastic frame. So the plastic frame has matte finish and the back has a glossy finish, and I think this looks more premium, but the plastic frame does give that premiumness away. So as you can see, the glossy back easily captures smudges, so yeah, it's gonna look dirty. Also, the plastic frame doesn't look that premium. And now coming to the frame, we have a volume rocker on this side, and then we have a power button, and then the alert slider on this side. Down bottom we have USB Type-C, a speaker outlet, and then a mic and also a SIM tray slot. And on top we have an IR blaster. We have another outlet for a speaker and then a mic. Also, this one comes with dual speaker setup, so you can see right here the A piece also works as a speaker. Now another improvement is the bezel. So OnePlus has made a big improvement on the bezel. So as you can see, the side bezels are really thin. The chin is also thin, and on top it is really thin. So overall, OnePlus has done a really good job with the bezels on the screen. As you can see, it also has an in-display fingerprint sensor, and it works really nice. So as you can see, it is fast, no problem whatsoever. So the Nord 3 comes with the IP54 rating, which is better than the IP53 rating that we get on the Redmi phones, but it is still not as good as the IP67 rating that we get on Samsung phones at this price tag. So another upgrade on the Nord 3 is its display. So now it has a 1.5K display with 120Hz support. It is a 6.7-inch Fluid AMOLED panel. So yes, it is sharper than before, and the colors also look lively. And OnePlus has mentioned a peak brightness of 1450 nits, which is really good. So you're not gonna have any issues whatsoever while using it outdoors on a bright sunny day. So for the refresh rate, we have 3 options: auto, high, and then standard. So in auto, it works as usual. Usually it will be at 120 Hz, but when the screen is static or the contents are static, it will drop down to 60 Hz. But OnePlus has promised that it drops down to 40 Hz, but sadly we did not see the display drop down to 40 Hz. So as I've said earlier, the display of the Nord 3 is really good. The color accuracy, it is really vivid, and you will enjoy watching videos on the Nord 3. Likewise, this has 3 options for the display. So in vivid, this has DCI-P3 color gamut. In natural, this goes to sRGB, and we have Pro modes as well, where cinematic has the most accurate P3 color coverage, and with brilliant it uses the widest color gamut. And if you watch Netflix, this has support for HDR10 plus contents as well, and it also supports wideband L1 certification. So overall, the display on the Nord 3 is really top notch. So before moving forward, I'd like to tell you guys that 99% of you haven't subscribed to our channel. So yes, please do subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for notifications as well. Now let's move on. The Nord 3 gets a very good upgrade on the performance segment as well, because now it comes with Dimensity 9000 chipset, which is a 4nm chipset, and it is a very big jump compared to the likes of Dimensity 1300 and 1200 that was used on the Nord 2T and the Nord 2. Also, along with this, it comes up to 16 GB of RAM, LPDDR5 RAM, and up to 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. So the Dimensity 9000 is a really good upgrade because it performs quite close to the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2, and it does not quite beat the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, but it comes very close. It's not that far. Also, the performance in real time is really good. The app openings, the switching between apps, and even if you have multiple apps open at once, you can use the phone really good because it's really fluid, smooth and fast, and games run really good as well. It is almost flagship level performance from the OnePlus Nord 3 here. So the Nord 3 supports high refresh rate games as well. So in PUBG Mobile, I was getting 90 FPS option with smooth graphics settings, and in this setting I got an average FPS of 87 frames per second, which is really good. No frame drops, no stutters. The temperature reached maximum of 41 degrees, but the performance did not take a hit even after 20 minutes, so it was good. And also you can play at extreme FPS option up to SDR graphics, and in this graphics settings I was getting around 53.2 average FPS, so not quite the 60 FPS material, but at this graphics I'm not complaining. And the temperature reached maximum of 43 with 20 minutes of gameplay. The Genshin Impact was tested at medium graphics at 60 FPS limit, and I got an average FPS of 57.9 with slight frame drops and negligible stutters, but the gameplay was smooth. After 7 minutes of gameplay, the temperature reached 43 degrees Celsius, and it remained the same for 30 minutes, but yes, it can get really warm on the back. It might get really uncomfortable while you're playing the games. So the performance has really improved with the new Dimensity 9000 chipset, and that was expected, but what was not expected is the camera performance. So with the new camera, the main sensor, 50 megapixel sensor, is the Sony IMX890 flagship sensor, which was also used on the OnePlus 11. The rest of it has an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, then a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and finally on the front it has a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the whole bunch. The main camera on the Nord 3 is really impressive. The photos look crisp, sharp, and the photos have just the right amount of saturation. The dynamic range is really good, and the photos are well exposed as well. So it is a very good upgrade from the previous generation of Nord. And the Nord 3 also manages to capture some impressive shots in the night as well. The noise is under control, it retains good details, and the exposure is nice as well. And also it uses auto night mode, so you don't really need to use the dedicated night mode. Now moving on to the ultra wide angle, it is nothing to hone about. The photos are not that impressive compared to the main sensor. The detail is not really there, and the dynamic range is also average. So on a bright sunny day, the pictures look decent with nice amount of sharpness, but in slightly overcast situation like in these photos, it might seem a bit flat. The colors are not that impressive. Now moving on to the portrait mode, it is kind of a hit or miss because it messes up the edge detection sometimes, and the face also looks soft most of the times. Sometimes the photos look good, but most of the time it is not that impressive. So not really impressed with the portrait mode on the Nord 3. Another highlight of the Nord 3 is its video output. So it can capture out to 4K 60 from the main camera, but the ultra wide is limited to 1080p 30 FPS. So the 4K footages are really sharp, clean, nice looking. The colors are also good. The 1080p footages are not as sharp, but it is decent. And what's good is the stabilization. So the EIS works really well here at 1080p. You can see that it does excellent job of compensating my foot movement. Well, it does not work in 4K, but the stabilization is not that bad in 4K either. The 1080p footages from the ultra wide angle is not that impressive, so I think you might not want to capture ultra wide videos from the Nord 3. So the Nord 3 also gets an upgrade on the battery. So up from the Nord 2T, it has 500 mAh bigger battery with 5000 mAh battery, and the charging is bigger as well. So this comes with a faster 80 watt superbook up from the 65 watt charger on the Nord 2T. So according to OnePlus, this can do 0 to 100% in less than 40 minutes, and in our testing it was exactly 32 minutes, so it is really fast. So the OnePlus Nord 3 comes with Android 13 out of the box with Oxygen OS version 13.1, and it's pretty standard experience that we get on the OnePlus phones and also the Oppo and Realme phones. And it also has some customized options, like you can adjust the accent colors, but it also does have some OnePlus specific functions such as this swipe down for global search and also a custom widgets for the home screen. Likewise, there are not much bloatwares in this version. In Nepali version of the OnePlus Nord 3, there is only one extra app, the Zero Relax, else it is bloatware free. And there are some other customization as well, like this fingerprint animation sound, deletion sound, screenshot sound, lock screen sound, and many more. And also the system haptics, so you can turn on or turn off the haptics, and you can also adjust the intensity of the haptics. About the system haptics, it is strong, it feels good while typing, but it is not as smooth and as fast as I would like to be. I think it's pretty average haptic feedback, but yes, the feedback is strong but not fast. Also, with the software update, OnePlus is doing better job because it has now promised 3 years of upgrades and 4 years of security updates. So the OnePlus Nord 3 is a very good phone for a premium mid-range phone. This phone packs a very good performance. It has a decent set of cameras, absolutely beautiful display, and overall this phone is really good with nice and clean software experience. But then again, there's a price tag. So this one is slightly expensive compared to its competitors like the Poco F5 and also the iQOO Neo 7. So this does feel slightly expensive, but the phone with overall package, it is really nice. Take leg.